Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into a prediction that's sending shockwaves through the tech world. Is your job as a software engineer about to be taken over by an AI? That's the question on everyone's minds after OpenAI CEO Sam Altman made some pretty bold claims. We're talking, replace junior software engineers level bold. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Okay, so what exactly did Altman say? He basically stated that AI agents are rapidly approaching the point where they can perform the tasks of software engineers with a few years of experience. That means code generation, testing, debugging, the whole shebang. He's not just talking about simple scripts, folks. He's talking about complex software development tasks. This isn't some far-off dream. He thinks it's happening soon. Think about that for a second. What does that mean for the future of the software engineering profession? Let's break down the potential fallout, starting with the immediate, direct impact. First and foremost, job displacement. We're potentially looking at a significant number of mid-level software engineers finding themselves out of work. Companies like Meta and Google are already heavily investing in AI-powered development tools. They're seeing the potential for increased productivity and cost savings. But increased productivity for them could mean unemployment for you. Are you ready for that shift? Are your skills adaptable enough? But it's not all doom and gloom, right? The role of the software engineer isn't going away entirely. It's just evolving. Think less code monkey, more AI conductor. The future engineer will need to be proficient in AI agent management, guiding, and validating the output of these systems. We're talking about architecture and design, focusing on the big picture and system integration. And, crucially, creative problem solving. AI can't do everything. It's not going to come up with truly novel solutions on its own. At least, not yet. So, the ability to think outside the box becomes even more valuable. Are you ready to be the boss of the robots? Let's drill down on this AI agent management skill. Imagine you're overseeing a team of AI developers. You need to be able to understand their strengths and weaknesses, assign them tasks appropriately, and validate their output. That means understanding the underlying AI models, knowing how to prompt them effectively, and being able to spot potential errors or biases. It's like being a project manager, but instead of managing people, you're managing algorithms. This is a whole new skill set that universities and coding boot camps need to start teaching yesterday. The upside for companies is huge. Imagine speeding up software development cycles by automating all the repetitive tasks. Faster product releases, quicker updates, and a significant reduction in labor costs. This translates to increased profitability. But let's be honest, the cost savings are the biggest driver here. Companies are always looking for ways to cut expenses, and AI offers a tempting solution. It's a double-edged sword, though. Short-term gains could lead to long-term problems if we're not careful. Are we sacrificing innovation for efficiency? Now, let's zoom out and look at the ripple effects. The education sector is going to be massively impacted. Universities and coding boot camps need to overhaul their curricula to focus on AI-related skills. We're talking about prompt engineering, ethical AI development, and all the things we just discussed. The demand for AI-related courses is going to skyrocket. If you're looking to future-proof your career, investing in AI education is a no-brainer. Are you ready to go back to school? Speaking of education, the consulting and training industry is about to explode. Businesses will need consultants to help them integrate AI agents into their software development workflows. There's going to be a huge demand for upskilling and reskilling programs to help software engineers and other tech professionals acquire AI-related skills. If you're a consultant or trainer, now is the time to position yourself as an AI expert. The gold rush is on. Are you ready to strike it rich? And let's not forget the hardware and cloud infrastructure side of things. Training and running AI agents requires massive computing power. We're talking about GPUs, TPUs, and all sorts of specialized hardware. This is going to drive demand for cloud computing services and AI-specific cloud platforms. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they're all salivating at the prospect of this increased demand. Are you invested in the right stocks? Now for the really scary part, the socioeconomic impact. We're talking about potential job losses, increased competition for remaining jobs, and the possibility of lower salaries for some roles. This is a real threat, and we can't afford to ignore it. It's not just about losing a paycheck, it's also about losing a sense of purpose and identity. How do we prepare ourselves and our communities for this potential disruption? Are our governments ready to handle the fallout? And it's not just about job losses. There's also the issue of economic inequality. The concentration of wealth in the hands of companies that own and control AI technology could exacerbate the already widening income gap. Altman himself has expressed concerns about the balance of power between capital and labor. If the benefits of AI aren't distributed fairly, we could be heading towards a very unequal future. Are we creating a society of haves and have-nots? This is where the discussion of social safety nets and universal basic income, UBI, comes in. If AI automation leads to widespread job displacement, governments may need to step in to provide a basic standard of living for all citizens. UBI is a controversial idea, but it's one that's gaining traction as the potential for AI-driven job losses becomes more real. Is UBI the answer? Or are there other, better solutions? The key to surviving the AI revolution is to focus on developing uniquely human skills. Creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem-solving. These are the skills that AI can't easily replicate. If you want to remain competitive in the workforce, you need to invest in these skills. Stop worrying about memorizing syntax and start focusing on developing your creative and critical thinking abilities. Are you cultivating your human advantage? And finally, we need to grapple with the ethical implications of AI. Bias, privacy, the potential for misuse. These are all serious concerns that we need to address. We need to ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a responsible and ethical way. This is not just a technical challenge, it's a societal one. Are we ready to have these difficult conversations? Let's shift gears and talk about the risks of relying too heavily on AI. What happens if the AI fails? What if it has bugs or is vulnerable to attacks? We can't become completely dependent on these systems. We need to maintain a level of human expertise to ensure that we can still function if the AI goes down. Are we putting all our eggs in one basket? Altman himself acknowledges that current AI agents won't come up with groundbreaking ideas and require human supervision. We can't overestimate their capabilities. Human oversight is crucial, but if humans lack the skills to properly supervise, that oversight becomes ineffective. It's like having a car with autopilot, but the driver is asleep at the wheel. Are we sleepwalking into a disaster? AI-generated code could potentially introduce new security vulnerabilities that human developers might not immediately recognize. And given the scale at which AI agents could operate, this risk is amplified. A single vulnerability in AI-generated code could be exploited across millions of systems. Are we opening Pandora's box? AI agents are trained on existing data. If that data reflects biases, the AI will perpetuate and potentially amplify those biases in the code it generates. This could lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. We need to be vigilant about identifying and mitigating bias in AI systems. Are we building bias into our future? The complexity of AI models can make it difficult to understand how they arrive at certain decisions or generate specific code. This black box nature can make it challenging to debug, audit, and ensure the reliability of AI-generated code. If we can't understand how the AI is working, how can we trust it? Are we comfortable with a system we don't understand making critical decisions? While AI agents can automate tasks, they may stifle creativity and innovation. Relying too heavily on AI-generated code might lead to a homogenization of software and a lack of truly novel solutions. Are we sacrificing creativity for efficiency? Companies with the most advanced AI agents could gain a significant competitive advantage, potentially leading to monopolies or oligopolies in the tech industry. This could stifle competition and harm consumers. Are we creating a future where a few powerful companies control everything? Public backlash against companies that aggressively replace human workers with AI could damage their brand and reputation. Consumers are increasingly aware of the ethical implications of AI, and they're not afraid to punish companies that they perceive as being unethical. Are companies willing to risk their reputation for short-term gains? Relying heavily on AI agents from a single vendor, like OpenAI, could create vendor lock-in and limit a company's flexibility and control. It's important to diversify your AI strategy and avoid becoming too dependent on a single provider. Are you setting yourself up for vendor lock-in? As we discussed earlier, algorithmic bias can lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. AI agents could perpetuate existing inequalities in the tech industry and beyond. We need to ensure that AI is used to promote fairness and equity, not to reinforce existing biases. Are we building a more just future with AI? It's crucial to ensure that AI-generated code is transparent and that there is clear accountability for its actions. Who is responsible if an AI agent makes a mistake that causes harm? We need to establish clear lines of responsibility and develop mechanisms for holding AI systems accountable. Who is to blame when the AI messes up? Job displacement can have a profound impact on individuals' sense of purpose and self-worth. Society needs to consider how to provide meaningful opportunities for people in a world where AI can perform many traditional jobs. What does it mean to be human in an age of AI? How do we find meaning and purpose in a world where work is no longer the primary source of identity? The development and control of AGI are likely to be concentrated in the hands of a few powerful companies. This raises concerns about the potential for abuse of power and the need for democratic oversight. How do we ensure that AI is used for the benefit of all, not just the few? How do we prevent AI from becoming a tool of oppression? The article touches on AGI. While further out, there are genuine ethical concerns from some about the long-term safety and alignment of superintelligent AI with human values. This is a complex and debated area, but a potential risk to be aware of. What happens if AI becomes smarter than us? Can we control it? Should we even be trying to create something that could potentially surpass our own intelligence? AI agents require access to vast amounts of data for training and operation. This raises concerns about data privacy, security breaches, and the potential for misuse of personal information. How do we protect our privacy in an age of AI? How do we prevent our data from being used against us? So, what's the takeaway? The future is uncertain. AI has the potential to revolutionize the software engineering profession, but it also poses significant risks. We need to be proactive in addressing these risks and ensuring that AI is developed and deployed in a responsible and ethical way. The time to act is now. What are you going to do to prepare for the AI revolution? My advice? Upskill. Learn AI agent management, prompt engineering, and all the other skills that will be in demand in the future. Don't be afraid to embrace change. The world is changing rapidly, and we need to adapt to survive. Are you ready to learn, grow, and evolve? The future is waiting, and it's powered by AI.